Hey, hi, hello, my friends. It's Christy with 4am Junk Journals. Today is Friday, and we are on the case. This is the third round of hashtag on the case 2023, and in this one we are trying to solve the murder of who killed Polly O'Malley. This is week 5. It is the last week in this case. If we do not manage to solve the case by the last day of October, it will move to our cold case files. So let's just jump right in. Today's first article comes from the tabloid magazine London Whispers and is dated April 30th, 1891. The headline reads, Ghostly Secrets Unveiled, an exclusive interview with Madame Isabella Carmichael. In an extraordinary turn of events, London Whispers brings you an exclusive interview with the remarkable Madame Isabella Carmichael. Just one day ago, she conducted a séance during which she claimed to communicate with the malevolent spirit of the infamous Jack the Ripper, the spectral figure who once terrorized the streets of our beloved city. On the night of April 29th, inside the mysterious confines of her dimly lit chamber, adorned with mystic symbols and a subtle scent of incense, Madame Carmichael embarked on a mission that would send shivers down the spine of even the bravest soul. In an intimate interview following the shocking séance, she reveals chilling insights that may shed light on the gruesome murder of Polly O'Malley. Jack the Ripper, the malevolent spirit conjured by Madame Carmichael, claimed to have been a witness to Polly O'Malley's murder on the fateful night of April 3, 1891. Though the details of the séance were ghastly, it is the weeping he described hearing during that night that has sent ripples of intrigue through our community. Jack the Ripper, in his ghostly manifestation, expressed remorse and a desire for redemption, raising questions about the extent of his involvement in this unsolved case. London Whispers. Madame Carmichael, can you explain how you managed to summon the spirit of Jack the Ripper? What compelled you to take this extraordinary step? Carmichael, I have always been a conduit to the ethereal realms where the spirits of the departed reside. The spirit of Jack the Ripper, lingering in the shadows, reached out to me through my spiritual gifts, and I felt compelled to provide a voice for his tormented soul. London Whispers. Could you provide any insight into the identity of Polly O'Malley's murderer based on the séance revelations? Madame Carmichael pauses. My dear, I must tread carefully. The spirit world is enigmatic, and Jack the Ripper's revelations have left me with more questions than answers, though his reactions to certain pictures presented to him by Inspector Thornfield are quite revealing. I believe that we are getting closer to unraveling the dark mysteries that shroud Polly's death. In the midst of this astonishing revelation, we are left to wonder if the secrets unearthed through the supernatural powers of Madame Carmichael will ultimately lead to the unmasking of Polly O'Malley's murderer. The murkiness of this unsolved case, intertwined with the lingering spirit of Jack the Ripper, continues to cast a shadow over our beloved city. Stay tuned to London Whispers for further updates on this dark and mystifying journey of discovery. Okay, so that's really interesting. It appears that Madame Carmichael held a séance that our inspector was present for, and that the inspector himself spoke with Jack the Ripper during this séance. And then we have an article from the news, headlined, Mysteries Unveiled, Autopsy Clues and Eerie Seance Unearth New Leads in Polly O'Malley Murder. London, April 30th, 1891. In a chilling turn of events, the Polly O'Malley murder investigation has taken an unprecedented and supernatural twist, bringing to light potential new leads into the baffling crime that has captivated London. The recent autopsy of the victim, Miss Polly O'Malley, conducted by Dr. Edmund Blackwood of London University Hospital, has yielded valuable clues regarding her untimely demise. The cause of death was confirmed to be a homicidal cutthroat, with the depth of the wound suggesting an assailant of great strength and determination. More intriguingly, the examination revealed defensive wounds on O'Malley's hands, indicating she valiantly fought against her attacker. The presence of dirt in the wounds hints at a desperate struggle on the grim night of April 3, 1891. While these discoveries offer a glimpse into the tragic events of that night, it is the unearthing of additional information that is capturing the public's imagination. New interviews were recently conducted with each of the prime suspects, further intensifying the scrutiny surrounding this peculiar case. As we know, the suspects include Florence O'Sullivan, Silas Wren, Oliver Grimshaw, Lady Beatrice Pembroke, Inspector Albert Thornfield, and of course Madame Isabella Carmichael, as well as Percival Wentworth, who has drawn suspicion in the investigation. In a shocking twist, a séance was held by the enigmatic Madame Isabella Carmichael, Inspector Thornfield, Dr. Blackwood, and members of the Junk Journal detectives. The eerie gathering aimed to contact the only known witness in this gruesome tale, the infamous ghost of Jack the Ripper. With bated breath and trembling hands, they succeeded in making contact with the otherworldly specter, and the revelations that followed sent shivers down the spine of all those present. The ghostly figure identified himself as Jack the Ripper and claimed to have witnessed the murder of Polly O'Malley. In a chilling recollection, he recounted the harrowing events that transpired on the ominous night, including the sound of weeping and the pleas of the victim. But it was when Inspector Thornfield displayed a series of photographs to the apparition that the atmosphere grew even more unnerving. Jack the Ripper reportedly reacted with intense emotion upon seeing the images of Florence O'Sullivan, Silas Wren, and Lady Beatrice Pembroke. The implications of this reaction have left investigators and onlookers both mystified and deeply troubled. The outcome of these recent revelations has cast an even more ominous veil over the Polly O'Malley murder case. The question now haunting London is whether the ghostly testimony of a notorious serial killer will lead the investigators to a breakthrough or plunge them further into the depths of an enigma that refuses to be unraveled. In the midst of these shocking developments, the truth behind Polly O'Malley's death remains hidden in the shadows, and our fair city waits with bated breath for the next chilling chapter in this spine-tingling tale of mystery and suspense. Okay, so we know from the London Whispers article that there were some pictures that were shown to the ghost of Jack the Ripper, if you believe that, and that those pictures got a strong reaction from him. According to the news, those pictures were those of Florence O'Sullivan, Silas Wren, and Lady Beatrice Pembroke. So this is important information, right? If we believe that Madame Carmichael has in fact made contact with this restless spirit of Jack the Ripper, and if we believe that Jack the Ripper actually witnessed this murder, then this is important information to know. Okay. So this next part is the article from the London Gazette. Its headline reads, Mysterious Twists in Polly O'Malley Murder Case. It's also dated April 30th, 1891. The Polly O'Malley murder investigation, which has captivated our city and bewildered investigators, has taken a startling turn, giving rise to both intrigue and skepticism. The autopsy of the victim, Miss Polly O'Malley, conducted by Dr. Edmund Blackwood of London University Hospital, has uncovered details about her tragic demise that have only deepened the mystery. The discovery that her cause of death was a homicidal cutthroat, coupled with evidence of defensive wounds on her hands, speaks to a desperate struggle on that fateful night of April 3rd, 1891. However, even as new insights into the case surface, there is growing skepticism regarding recent developments in the investigation. Recent interviews with suspects have produced mixed results, with some individuals refusing to cooperate with a medical examination. These refusals have raised even more questions and left some wondering if certain suspects have something to hide. Most notably, an unusual seance was held to contact the ghost of Jack the Ripper, featuring Madame Isabella Carmichael, Inspector Thornfield, Dr. Blackwood, and members of the Junk Journal detectives. This otherworldly endeavor aimed to solicit information from a notorious and elusive source. The results of the seance have ignited passionate debates throughout London. While the seance appeared to make contact with the spectral figure who identified himself as Jack the Ripper and recounted witnessing Polly O'Malley's murder, some voices have been raised in skepticism. A question mark now looms over the authenticity of Madame Carmichael's connection to the other world, with some suggesting that she may be a fraud, exploiting the curiosity and desperation of the investigators. In the midst of these peculiar and unsettling developments, the Polly O'Malley murder case remains an enigma that seems to grow more mysterious with each revelation. Our city awaits further revelations, still in search of answers and the elusive truth behind this perplexing and unsettling case. The Polly O'Malley murder investigation continues, casting a somber and enigmatic shadow over the streets of London. All right, so basically not a lot more information coming from the London Gazette. They do seem to kind of be questioning a little more the validity of this seance and, in fact, of Madame Carmichael herself. So, yeah, but other than that, not a whole lot more information coming there. Now, one thing that we do have is Dr. Blackwood wrote up a report of the seance. He kept notes and wrote a report following the seance and provided us with a copy of his report. And it reads, in the dimly lit room of Madame Carmichael's parlor, the seance was about to begin. Gathered around a table were Madame Isabella Carmichael, Inspector Albert Thornfield, Dr. Edmund Blackwood, and the inquisitive members of the Junk Journal detectives. The air was heavy with anticipation, as everyone knew that the purpose of this seance was to contact none other than the infamous Jack the Ripper himself. Madame Carmichael, a woman of mystic repute, began the ritual by lighting a series of black candles arranged in a circle. The room was filled with an eerie silence as they joined hands around the table. The flickering flames cast unsettling shadows on the faces of those present. Madame Carmichael, her voice trembling, called out, "Spirit of Jack the Ripper, we beseech your presence tonight. Reveal yourself to us." A chilling wind blew through the room as the atmosphere grew tense. Then, in a sudden burst of frigid air, a figure emerged at the center of the table. It was a ghastly presence, cloaked in darkness with a sinister aura. There, in a form that struck terror into everyone's hearts, Jack the Ripper revealed himself. "I am he," the apparition hissed. "The one they call Jack the Ripper. I've seen what you seek to uncover." Inspector Thornfield and the detectives exchanged nervous glances, but they knew that this was their only chance to gain crucial information about Polly O'Malley's murder. "I watched from the shadows," Jack continued. "On that fateful night, she was not alone. There was weeping. She begged for her life." Everyone in the room hung on Jack's every word, desperate for more details. The room seemed to grow colder with each passing moment. Jack the Ripper went on. "I hope my assistance in this matter will buy me some semblance of forgiveness in my current circumstances." At this point, Inspector Thornfield, not wasting a moment, showed a series of photographs to the apparition. There, Jack's ghostly form had an unmistakable reaction. His spectral face twisted into an expression of shock and anger when he saw the photographs of Florence O'Sullivan, Silas Wren, and Lady Beatrice Pembroke. "Tell us," the inspector implored. "What do you know about them?" But before Jack could respond, the séance took a terrifying turn. The room filled with an otherworldly scream, and the figure of Jack the Ripper began to fade. Madame Carmichael quickly extinguished the candles, and the room returned to a somber darkness. All right. So that's where we're leaving it for today. That's quite a lot of information we got today. Quite a lot to think about. We are nearing the end of our month of working on the Polly O'Malley murder case. I hope that you're getting close to being ready to make your accusations. And for right now, the detectives currently on the case are Briana Jenkins, Jennifer Rowe, Carolyn 1973, aka Saber Ducky, Karen Betts, Karyn Mill, Leslie Ford, Rochelle from the Passionate Sticker Hall, Tara from Sassy Paper Palace. We have got some missing. There's also Kelli Landon, Carol McCready, and I feel like I forgot someone else. I'm not sure how they got left. I think I copied the wrong, because I just copied this over, and I think I copied the wrong one. I apologize for that, but I know that there is another person that is not currently on this list. If you're not on the list, but you do want to play along, drop me a comment below, and I will add you to the list. It's time, detectives. It's time to ask your questions. Fill your case books. Make some art. Have some fun. And become the greatest junk journal detective in the world. All right. Be sure and leave your questions in the comments. Hop over to our Facebook group. Jump into the chat there. And I will talk with all of you again very soon. Bye for now. Bye.